Well, I can hear it. What's up, folks? I'll give it a few seconds for people to get in here because I don't know how long that will generally take. So, hey, what's going on, Chief Pounder Hard? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. What's up, Sarah Smith? I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat because last time I did the live, I found out there was a lot of messages that didn't get through to live chat. So, trying to make sure that they all are able to get through this time. So, anybody who commented last time and didn't see yours, I'm sorry about that because I didn't have any mods at the time. So, what's up, Minnie the Moocher, Scooter Beggins? What's up, y'all? I appreciate you stopping in. We're just gonna goof around tonight. I might do some live prank calls. I might do, some voices and things like that, and we'll talk about a little bit about Durkee, and I'm gonna get into the King Cobra JFS. I've been watching some of his stuff. Um, God, that guy, if nobody's watched him, he's got some crazy stuff out there. Years and years of material. So, yeah. But I appreciate y'all stopping in. How's everybody's week going so far? It's only Monday, but everybody doing all right? So we'll let a few more people get in here. Now I may do some prank calls or something like that. I got some bad customer service recently. I need to pester those people, that sort of thing. So we'll go from there. Despite everything being pretty quiet with Donald and Durkee, I've seen a lot of content coming out. You guys are cracking me up. Some of the stuff coming out. I saw Donald went live earlier today. That's pretty interesting because I was just saying how quiet he was the other day, and he almost nodded out. I saw he was getting pretty tired. He works all hours. So yeah, thank you, Sarah Smith. I appreciate that. Y'all please like and share if you know anybody who'd like to come in. I may invite some people up too. I'm still getting used to using this as I guess any of us are, but it's pretty cool. Thank you, Poker Mike. I appreciate that. Hope y'all are doing good. I look silly with this headset on, but the mic in the computer sucks, man. It's like real echoey and stuff, and I have a fan going on, so it's probably. I mean, I'm sure this isn't grade A quality what you're getting now, but that that shit can't go. That was awful. So I'm doing it this way. Hope everybody can hear okay too. So yeah, let me see if I can find the folks that need a call tonight. I appreciate that, y'all. So I'm thinking about calling this racetrack, and down here we have a gas station called Racetrack. It's from Atlanta, is where it started, and I'm thinking about calling them and just kind of pestering them a little bit. They have a problem with keeping their receipt paper in their pumps. They have a problem with changing the trash. they have a lot of issues, and they got an attitude on top of it. So we're gonna get them if we can, if they'll answer and stay on the line. Nope, I don't want to do that just yet. I hope y'all can hear it when I call these people. Oh, a lot of people popped in here. Hey, Bronco. Hey, Maddie Marinera. Hey, Adriana Maynard. Wreaking Havoc. Thank you guys for coming in. All right, let's hope this will work. Can y'all hear that? Yeah, when's your next race? I'm wondering if you guys take the bets over the phone down here. If I need to come over there, it says you're 5 miles away from me.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
I'm wondering when your next race is. I'm trying to put in a bet.
Into the gas station?
Yeah, the racetrack. Is you by the gas station?
Is it the gas station?
Do I have the wrong number?
I think so.
For the racetrack? You don't do the horse races?
Oh, no, yeah, that's the wrong number. This is just a gas station name racetrack.
Well, do me a favor there, hun. Will you go out there and put some receipt paper in those pumps? Because they ain't got no receipt paper in the pumps around here.
They're full.
Okay, then. I'm glad you checked. You have a good night there, hun.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. She said, this is the gas station. So, yeah. So I went by there, and they like got a fucking attitude and everything else. And I like to keep my receipt papers when I pump gas. I like to keep my receipt, and they don't put the paper in the pump. So I'm always having to go in and get a fucking receipt. And it's like, see cashier for receipt, and it's like, okay, well, but then no one wants to come and give you a receipt, or they say, oh, use the self checkout. I'm like, I'm not checking out with anything. I'm just trying to get a receipt that you couldn't provide me outside, which is the whole fucking reason I paid at the pump, was so I could do everything at the pump. So I still got to come in. So yeah. What's up, Red Eye Patriot? And I saw somebody else here, Johnny D, Johnny Depp. We got a lot of people snuck in here. Methadonia for life, methadone for life. I'm sorry, I say Methadonia because we call Durkee's place Methadonia. Mandy. Well, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. Call back and ask for Prince Albert in a can. I don't even know. Do they still sell Prince Albert in a can? I heard Lucky Strike came back out. I'm not a smoker, so I don't ever, really pay attention. But I know Lucky Strike is an older brand, and it went away for a while. It's ludicrous. What's up, Sultan the Swing? So, speaking of voices, I'm not picking on anybody, but I've never heard of this Iceman guy, and y'all know there's been some drama around. I don't know him, never been on his streams, never watched one of his lives, nothing. I've never dealt with him, but I just heard some clips of him the other day. And tell me that this guy does not sound just like, there was a Droopy cartoon where the guy comes in, he's walking down the street, and the principal's quitting, he's walking out, and he's like, ah, and pulling his tongue out and all this stuff. And he runs out of there. He runs into this guy, and he's like, what's going on, man? And he's like, oh, it's terrible. These children, modern education, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he uh, he comes right in and takes over the school. He's like, nothing's wrong with modern education, man. Tell me that guy Iceman doesn't sound just like that that character from the Droopy cartoons. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, that guy sounds just like him. So I've never seen his channel. I was trying to find his channel at one point because I was trying to figure out what all the drama was about. But I'm not really into getting in the middle of any of the drama. But I just thought that was funny because he sounds just like the character from the Droopy cartoon. What's going on, Wacky Jackie? We got Wesley in here. Uh, I saw someone else a moment ago. Yeah, thank y'all for stopping in. He has a call line, really. I'll have to check that out. His voice is something else, though. That's immediately who I thought about was that cartoon character. You guys are going fast here. I'm sorry. What's going on, Trump's next wife? Appreciate you stopping in. Droopy Dog, yeah. I used to love Droopy, though. Droopy was a good cartoon. I miss a lot of that old Tex Avery type stuff. Tex Avery and Fred Quimby and all of them. Let me see if I can find another phone number here. Why they forgot the mustard? What's that all about? Do they not have it up there or something? Or is that just kind of my in? The problem with New York is I think they're a two-party state. That's the only issue with them. Wasn't Slick the Wolf? Wasn't he the one that was like he was all googly eyed and he was on the Droopy cartoons? Well, he wasn't. He was in some of the Droopy cartoons, but he was on the Tex Avery cartoons, and he'd always go to like a bar. Oh, really? I've heard that. I've heard people say that people from New York say that mustard doesn't belong in a hamburger. So yeah, I like the old cartoons. I don't like the new ones very much. They've kind of tried to remake Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny and stuff. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. Well, I had another number here, but I'm gonna have to look it up because I thought I had it saved. So oh yeah, we can have it. I don't personally care for mustard. I don't like condiments really. Huckleberry Hound. Yeah, I like Huckleberry Hound. I never saw Captain Caveman. I don't think, unless I just don't know the character's name. Man, I miss a lot of those old ones, especially like a lot of the old Hanna Barbera ones too. Condiments. So I was watching that. Oh yeah, Yogi was good too. I was watching that JFS guy, and there's a whole saga about can openers with him. There's like a whole compilation video that someone did um, all about can openers, and his problem and how difficult they are for him and all this stuff. And he explodes like, oh man. So I was watching one earlier today, and he's going off about he had a sandwich and he went to pick up a penny on the ground and part of his sandwich fell out of out of the bag onto the floor, and he's like, yeah, I had to make a scene right there. And I can only imagine how badly he blew up, you know. Hong Kong Fooey was good. Call Moses, yeah, tell him that they're not going to have the next one. Yeah. The Williams. Yeah. Yeah, that I always liked them too. Robin Williams was just a little bit over the top for me, but I liked his talent. Like his talent was amazing. I don't know that he's someone I could spend a lot of time with because it's like over the top a little bit. I'm only in the on in this mood some of the time, you know. Oh yeah. Yeah, Popeyes and some of these other restaurants are pretty bad about that. I like George Carlin. George Carlin is probably one of my favorite comedians ever. I'll have to do that. Let's see. Um, hey Moses, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. IMNB. I hope I'm saying that right. What's going on? Thanks for coming in. Moses, you missed my first prank call. Um, we're about to try to call somewhere else here. Let's see. He's taking his time. It sure is. Let's see here. Hope y'all can hear.
How can I help you?
Yeah, my friend was in there earlier. He said y'all told him they wouldn't take no orders. They had to use the app. What kind of app they talking about?
We're not taking orders on the inside, but we're taking orders in drive-thru.
Why y'all got you told him to use the app? I don't know how to use no computer.
I'm not sure who told him that because it might have been during day shift.
Why y'all got employee in there? Y'all said y'all don't do that, and I got it. Took me 15 minutes damn near to get y'all phone number on telephone. I don't use a computer very often, and I can give him $20 to go up there and get us some chicken in it. He said y'all don't want me to do it without an app.
I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. Unless it happened during on my day shift hours.
Whether it happened during the day or during the night, I mean, I don't need. Why can't y'all just take the order and the money?
We can in drive-through only.
Why the drive-through? I ain't got no car. I sent him to get some chicken, and he don't want to. He don't want to go through the drive-through. He like to check the order before he leave.
Because we're not open on the inside. I'm short-staffed on the inside.
Well,
I've only got 3 people working.
They said y'all was putting the biscuits in there, and he said that you had to have an app even to get a biscuit.
No, I don't know who told him that, but it wasn't my crew.
I'm kind of upset about this because it's the first of the month and I finally get my check. I'm on fixed income and I sent him up there to get that there chicken, and now we're gonna have to eat some spam for dinner because I ain't got no bucket of chicken. And I told him he should have just went on over to KFC, but I don't care for KFC because I like my chicken a little bit spicy.
Yes, sir. I do apologize.
Well, you know, I come in there and get maybe some free chicken legs or something.
I'm not open on the inside, love. I don't have the people to open on the inside.
What if I knock on the door? I could do a special knock. Just tell me how many times to knock, and I'll special knock.
I can't do it like that. You have to come to drive-through.
Oh my God! You know I'm on fixed income.
I do apologize, but I can't open my inside.
Well, y'all, I know a locksmith. I can get y'all someone to get an extra key if you need an extra key to open the door.
No, sir. We have a key, but I just don't have the people. I cannot open my door on the inside.
Well, I'm calling the law about this. I'm calling the damn law.
Okay, call the law. Have a good night.
You too. Well, there you have it. You can drive through only. So yeah, if we was the Cobra guy, we could just get DoorDash because he gets all his food DoorDash. So who snuck in here while I was doing that? What's going on? Hey, Red Reaper, what's going on? Red Solo Cup, how y'all doing? Call the law. That's what I like to do, man. People get pissed when you say you're calling the law on them. Some of my older pranks, that's what I did. I call the law. I'm gonna call the law, and it's just I always do it over stupid shit that you wouldn't call the police over. Yeah, Moses. The video I watched today, him and the neighbor got into a like damn near a fist fight at the door because I guess the neighbor like handed him his bag, and he's like, I done told you about this. He handed him his bag, and the Cobra like pulled on it, and I guess the neighbor didn't let go of it. And he was like, he won't even give me my stuff. You guys order me stuff, and he won't even give it to me. But please, if you're gonna order me something, do this and do that. He's like they didn't leave a phone number, or they gave the wrong number, the wrong street number, or something, because they kept coming to the neighbor's door. Like I would just quit answering the door. But yeah, he gets all kind of stuff. And he said he gets beer and stuff delivered to his house. Well, I'm thinking, damn, that's got to cost a lot over time, especially as much as he drinks. That's got to cost a lot to have that delivered all the time. I mean, he I don't know. Casper's not a very big town, but it's also kind of all together. So maybe it's not as bad there as it is here. But if you've got any distance between you and where you're getting it from, it's got to cost a fortune to get that delivered all the time. Oh Lord, that's crazy. See, I don't know. I don't know that I see the comedic value in that, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that, but it is funny. I don't think I would do it to someone that I didn't know personally. You know what I mean? Sarah, that's just bad. I don't know that I could do that. I'm sure they all know him there by now. I'm sure everybody around there knows him by now. He spent 80 at Little Caesars, and Little Caesars is not that pricey. So a lot of that's delivery fees, and he seems to order way more food than he's going to eat. Oh, I just saw that Mandy. Mandy asked for the secret recipe. I need to do that. That's funny. You know who that kind of sounds like? It sounds like something that Lucius Tate would have done back in the day. Red Solo Cup. He did a lot of shit like that, where he would almost like pretend that a criminal act was taking place all the time, and there was somebody else. I want to say it was Touchstone Terrace. He had one. They I always say they. It's one guy, but he plays like five different people. He had one where he called a funeral home and was like, "Yeah, man, I need to get some embalming fluid." And he's talking about a guy who was with a party. It was at a party that he had, and they found him. And the guy's like, as soon as he starts to hang up, he's like, "We need to call the police." John Boy and Billy. Is it true? I'm telling you, Lord only knows uh, what's been going on around there since he's been so quiet. It's possible. It's possible. What's up, Sasquatch? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Anything's possible with Durkee and Donald, for real. Man, they are a hoot. You know what's crazy? Last time I did this, I looked back and there was a whole bunch of messages that I had to like approve. So I opened it up differently this time, and I'm not getting many. I've only got like one or two. So clam cakes 21. Oh wow. Yeah. He's we could try to call Durkee, but the thing about him is when you call him, there's no telling what kind of mood he's going to be in. We might we might get Chig. Chig, hey Mike Hunt, how's it going? Chig has been picking up lately. The last few times I call, which has been a few days. Let's see. It has been a few days because I wish Cyrax would answer the phone. Boy, I always get his voicemail, but I'm working on something with that. I'm hoping that comes out pretty soon. Let's see. There it is. Damn. Hey, Jig, they said that boy was on the YouTube and he was making fun of Durkee again. You heard about that?
What?
That boy's on the YouTube. He's making fun of Durkee. I figured I'd tell you because my boy brought the phone in here and showed me.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, it is.
I can't believe it. Y'all been doing all right over there? Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna let you know he's on the internet making fun of Durkee again.
All right, I'll tell him.
Tell him, please.
All right.
All right, y'all take it easy now.
Always.
Well, there's your Chigfoot sighting right there. So yeah, he's not on the offense. He's uh oh. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. You can hear me now? It might be this damn microphone or something. Damn. Let's see what we got here. Mm. Can you hear me now? Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right. Thank y'all. Thank you for telling me. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna keep my little mic monitor up here and just see if it goes out. Who the hell knows with these things? All right. Press one if you can hear me. Okay. Cool. I got some conflicting feedback from folks, so I just wanted to make sure. Thank y'all. I might have got hacked briefly by Durkee for calling the meth camper. That might have happened. You know, he's a hacker. He's a professional. Or King Cobra might have heard we were talking about him, and he might have summoned some spirit to turn my internet off briefly or turn my mic off briefly. Really, Moses? He did 2 hours? Wow, that's crazy. Well, I appreciate the immediate feedback from y'all. I saw I saw one he did where he was doing this it's like cash something where he thought he got money every time people in his chat clicked this link. And he was like, put that on, click on it, go ahead and click on it. I'm putting it up again, click on it. And people in the chat were just telling him, scam, it's a scam, man, don't waste your time, it's a scam, don't. He's like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, you're trying to play my Asperger's against me, you're trying to use this against me, you're trying to use reverse psychology and all this stuff. And then he while he's sitting there, he picks up, like another browser screen or whatever, and he's like, "Oh man, this is a scam. Oh no." And he starts freaking out, talking about he's going to disconnect it from his PayPal and all this stuff. That shit was hilarious. He got all paranoid, and he's like, I don't know. Now they want me to get on Skype. They want me to do this. They want me to do that to disconnect it. It's got to be a scam. Oh man, I'm telling you, there's hours of entertainment there. He's To me, he's more entertaining than there she is. There's old hag. She's hiding behind pictures of old women, and she burned my damn sign down. She burned my sign down. I remember when he was saying something about using a VPN and refreshing it and all this stuff. The crazy thing about it was is the crazy thing about it was he kept saying that about the VPN, but the crazy thing was he doesn't even have cell phone service. So he's using it through like a Wi-Fi connection. If somebody really wanted to, they would have known his IPN by now. Not IPN, ISP. Boy, I'm telling you. Sorry, I'm just catching up here. I I think so, Mandy. I've got it saved, so I'd have to look, but I think maybe. I think that's the home number. They they he had one number though that I dealt with him on for a while, and I think it was just like a burner because he stopped answering it after like a month or two. This was early on. They want their donuts and coffee. You know he's best friends with everybody. He's best friends with the state police. And do y'all remember when somebody called CPS and he's like, they sit here and laughed at y'all people. They laughed at y'all. And they told me they weren't supposed to tell me who it was, but they told me who it was. And I was like, yeah, okay. Imagine getting fired because Durkee said some shit like that you gave up some information that you weren't supposed to. Uh, like, I just craziness. What's going on elsewhere? Yeah, he's got a direct line over there. He's got one of those red phones on the wall, like the White House. He's got one of those. He just picks it up. No, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The one that I remember that being from was like, I want to say it was like mid 2020. We need some Durkee words of the day. You're illiterate. You're illiterate. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Donald hadn't been as active. I don't know if he wised up or went deeper down the hole with his recreational stuff, but yeah, he's kind of calmed down. And I stopped calling him after he asked me to stop calling him because I wasn't going to keep bothering him. I did I did text him a couple times, and you know, he's I think he's already forgotten about it, but it's ludicrous. Yeah, squares him. But don't worry, I'll wait. To me is one of the funniest things with him. That's why I made that little clip on YouTube. But they they gave me a copyright claim for that music in there. It's the only video I got a copyright claim on currently. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Moses Heaps. We won't call him tonight. We won't call him tonight. If you guys wanna do that, we're gonna do that with Moses Wednesday. So make sure you tune into that. Rainbow Chick. Yeah, I think I remember him saying something like that. Who is it that is it? I don't know who it is. Someone in their videos has talked about him recently, where they is talking about how he goes on his ass. That shit was funny as hell. His I think it I want to say it was Moses, but I can't remember. But yeah, his shit with that is hilarious when he talks about that, or you know, I can almost do impressions of how he does in the camera. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, if she I mean, I feel like she must not be the same type of attention whore that that Shayna was, because if so, we would be getting a lot of content. You know, I think that first time, that first night she was, but other than that, I don't think she's gotten that into it. I think she saw that first night where that shit was headed, maybe a little bit wiser in some ways. Yeah, yeah, the side eye. I thought maybe he couldn't see out of one eye as well or something, and that maybe like one of his eyes didn't focus well. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Uh, Sorry guys, I'm trying to see if I can make this work, and it didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna have to try some things on here at some point. Frog face motherfucker. Yeah. Oh man, he got so mad about that. Donald is quick to get mad too, but I was looking at that old one that Link shared recently, and when Durkee's going on, look, they're putting up a mean face. You just showed who you were. You just showed who you were. I can go back and I can see who you were. You're stupid. You're stupid. You're so illiterate. And I just thought, man, I would love to make a bunch of like fake accounts and just do that. Just do one emoji after the next, because he gets mad at the laughing one and the mad one. And that day he got into a fight with a coworker. He said, "Oh, put your little angry face up there because you know it's true." Oh man, that had me dying. He got a record deal. We're still waiting on it. I got this Big Kahuna shirt my daughter gave me for my birthday. Y'all know what that is, but Big Kahuna Burger. That is a tasty burger. Yeah, by the water heater. If you never had them, give them a try sometime. I can't hardly get them myself. I like that, Bronco. We've heard that a bunch over the years. What's going on, Pimp Pigeon Ralph? Thanks for coming in. See, we got Montonk. Is that how you say that? I may be saying it wrong. And uh, Sick Dave. Seek Dave. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And we got Jamie Millions. I'm sorry if I say y'all's names wrong. Some of them are quite clever and above my above my pay grade, but I appreciate you being here. I really do. Thank y'all for coming in and supporting the stream. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. There really is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Just crazy things going on with world relations and everything. We gotta laugh. We gotta be funny when we can. They're going down. Yeah. Yeah. That's the one that happened like at Christmas time, right? L Square. I think that's the one you're talking about where he just kept rubbing it in his face. Man. Yeah. Those calls usually don't last long if you call and like pester him. Um, I messed with him and taunted him pretty bad one time, and I couldn't even. I got tripped up over my words trying to talk while he was talking, because he loves talking over people. So yeah, he was like, abandoned car, buddy. We got brand new Chevrolets and Malibus. Oh, he got mad as hell about that. It's been about a year since I did that. It's hard. Well, it's probably been a little over a year since I did that. I think it was in June or July of last year. Yeah. Sorry, I thought something was going on here. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that. He he had he had something going on, and I called him one day, and he was like, "I got to go, I got to go." And I said, "Well, you don't want to talk?" And he says, "No, no, I got to go. I got things to do." And I said, "Well, all right." And then he called me back like 4 hours later, and he says, "Did you call me earlier?" And I'm thinking, "Damn, I didn't know he returned calls." Because he's never called. I don't think he's ever called me other than that time. And he left me a voicemail one time, which I put in that video a few weeks ago. He's built like a brick house. Yeah. That's funny. Copyright infringement. Man, he cracks me up with that, with the copyright infringement and all that stuff. But yeah. So Section 230. Section 230, I see talking about that. Oh yeah, that one was funny. He got all tripped up over that. He's like, "Hell, pot calling the kettle, much black, much, yeah, hey, pot kettle." He got all tripped up. That shit was funny as hell. It's stuff like that that really, really makes me laugh. That's a good one too, Minnie the Moocher. A lot of Weakest Links videos. I didn't realize how long he'd been saying that. Durkee's been saying that shit for years and years and years. A lot of Weakest Links videos talk about it, and they're from like 16, 17 time frame. So he's been saying that for a long time. I had only heard him say it a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't know he was saying it that often. Man, those nails are rough. His fingernails, he keeps them pretty rough. That's exactly how he says it too. That's exactly how Link says that when he says it. He cracks me up. Oh man, there's God only knows what's touched those fingernails. You know. Let's see. Trying to see if we got someone else we can call. Oh, I got an unknown number call. I don't know what that is. There was this man. I think I've got it on my other camera. There was this guy several months ago that called me and got an attitude with me and said I called him. Now I'm thinking it was one of those things where it was like a spoof number. Telemarketers now they'll use your phone number to call 100 other people. Well, like most of us have deduced that that's not the real people and we just move on with our lives. This guy called me and was all pissed off. And I thought it was someone pranking me at first. I thought maybe, someone got my number and was fucking with me. But what I've gathered is that it was some guy who got called by a telemarketer and he swore that I called him. And he's like, "You called me 3 times at 2:05." And I said, "I didn't call you, whatever." And I usually don't even answer him, but for whatever reason, I answered this guy's call. Well, he left me like 3 voicemails back to back about how big a son of a bitch I was, and I'm gonna quit calling his phone. He's gonna guarantee it, and all this stuff. So I called Durkee from his phone number with a spoof app. I called Durkee, got Durkee all pissed off. Then I called that guy back. And I said, "Look here, man, you're burning up my minutes. This is a government phone. Call me on this number." And I gave him Durkee's number. And I can only imagine how that conversation went because like 2 days later, he uh he texted me back and said, "You're a motherfucker. You can keep your ass up there in West Virginia." So I'm like, well, they at least had a conversation because you know he knows the guy from West Virginia. So at some point, him and Durkee probably talked, and Durkee said something about being from West Virginia. But I love that kind of shit. I had a cousin one time. She would call you constantly, constantly. She called me 60 times one day while I was at work, constantly hitting the phone, constantly. I mean, you couldn't even hang up on one without getting like a voicemail from the last one, you know? And what's up, Mama Rocks? Thanks for coming in. But she was just constantly calling. And finally, I called her and I said, I just picked up, she just picked up the phone. I said, "Please hold." And I called her and transferred her to Kroger. So, but I stayed on the line like it was three-way. And she was arguing with the lady at Kroger about, "You just called me. You said please hold, and then you called me, and I've been on the phone here waiting on you to come on the line." And she got all pissed off. And oh man, I got her pretty good because I got tired of her calling me, and now I don't even answer the phone when she calls because that shit's just crazy, to call people that much, especially they work every day or got shit going on, unless they've done you wrong or just been an asshole. But yeah, she was the world's worst about that, and it was just like, "Oh, I'm worried I couldn't get you on the phone." Well, shit, you give it some time. Oh yeah, that was funny with those floors. That was funny as hell. And then he didn't want to either Billy did it and he didn't want to say it was Billy, or he did it and he didn't want Billy to hear him say it was Billy. You know what I'm saying? Because he claimed that that wrinkle was his fault. If you remember when he was in that live, he said something about, "Oh yeah, I messed it up right here. I messed it up." That's payback. Yeah, man. Yeah, I that particular cousin, man, she is nuts. I think I talked about it in Moses and Rick stream a few weeks ago about just how crazy that shit got. She would call. She got a congressman involved in something one time. Man, we had a lot going on with that. So yeah, my friend, he used to have me call people from time to time just to fuck with them. Not it wasn't malicious. It wasn't like usually I'm trying to get even with someone who gave me bad service or something. His was just like screwing with people, and then aha, we got you. And I like doing those calls sometimes, but yeah, I called one of his friends, and you could tell the woman was in charge of the household around there because he wasn't even hardly allowed to talk to me very long. And then she grabbed the phone and was like, "Who is this? Who is this?" And I said, "Well, I call you. You order the food. You order the Chinese food, and I wait for you." And she said, "Well, where are you at? Where are you at?" And they had already told me the name of their apartments and stuff, and I told them I was at the gate and I needed to get in, and I didn't know their code. It wouldn't let me in. And she's like, "Well, if we order Chinese food, what do we order?" Like that was to prove something. And I say, "You ordered a wing and a fried rice." And she's like, "What kind of wings did we order? What flavor were they?" I said, "Oh, they were the hot pepper one." And, and she was like, "Well, we didn't order any Chinese food, but I'll come let you in. Maybe we can figure this out." I thought the whole time, I thought they either drove or walked down to the gate and and figured out no one was there. It already had a dent. Yeah. Anytime somebody says dent, my mind immediately goes to two things. Either someone's getting dents put in their head, or I think of I think Cyrax's dent in the wall. Y'all, I don't know if he's still doing that. I hadn't watched any of his recent videos, but there was one, well, there was like several where he had a dent in the wall behind him, and it just looked so lonely. And you'd think he would have hung something over it or something, or changed the camera direction, but that dent was just there. And then the other thing is dents in the heads. And then I like when Donald's like, ding, ding. He says, "There goes Low, Mary, and Girly," instead of Mo, Larry, and Girly. He had it like backwards or something. I think he said Mo, Larry, and Girly. So yeah, no, he said Low, Mary, and Girly or something. Low, Mary. I don't know. Shit, I done tongue tied myself now. But yeah, he had it like backwards or something. The way he said it, I know one of them was Low, and he cracked me up, man. But Donald, I think I told y'all before, Donald called my prank number one day after all that stuff with the Sean Feldman, and he's like, "Yeah, you think you're a real smart attorney guy, huh?" And I think part of it I put in the video. But then he called me back later, and I actually picked up the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I got some of that Russian poison I'm going to be spraying around your house, and all you got to do is touch it, and you're going to die. You're going to drop dead." And I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "Yeah, man, you just don't even know. You just don't even know that that I know exactly where you live. I got people that live just a couple miles from you." I said, "Yeah, okay, I bet." God, he was a hoot. But he has these moments of clarity where you know he'll call back and then he'll apologize and say, "I'm real sorry. I've got these people online. My family, they were in a movie, and you might have seen it." That's usually how that transitions from him saying "fuck you" to, "Hey man, I just got all these haters messing with me, and I got a family. My family was in a movie. You ever seen it? It's out on the World Wide Web." Yeah, he's gone downhill. It's really sad, Josh. It's really sad. He yeah, unfortunately he's gone downhill. And if he would have made better choices after that came out, I think of all the people he would have probably been pretty successful with it if he would have kind of exploited that 15 minutes of fame and put a positive spin on it, and got him a place, got out of that atmosphere, and kind of moved forward with stuff. He probably would have done all right, but he let the drugs take hold and bad decisions and all that. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think he ever really lost that job. I think he got suspended or something. Because who the hell's gonna let you come back and work after they've already fired you? Especially somebody as big of a liability as he is. You'd have to be really fucking desperate. That's true, Bronco. Unfortunately, he's the type that just wants to sit around and lounge. But that lifestyle eventually come to an end. If he doesn't have someone to pay for that roof over his head. Oh, he's the prototype, ain't he? Yeah, it's sad. I mean, because he and I are about the same age, and I just think you probably could have done all right. Now his cousin Sue Bob's daughter, she's got a pretty she's got, I won't say pretty famous, but she's got quite a few people that follow her on TikTok, and I didn't know that was her. She doesn't talk like the rest of them yet, so because after a certain age, it seems like all of them start talking like this. I've always been the prettiest one in the family. So she doesn't talk like that yet, but Ashley Poe, yeah, she's got a TikTok. She's actually got quite a bit of followers and seems to do all right on there. But yeah, I mean, if Durkee would have capitalized on it, Carl from Sling Blade, yeah. Mm, mm. Some folks call it a Kaiser blade. I call it no. Let me say, some folks call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade. I went up there in the house, hit him over the head, killed him. Yeah, she said she was famous on TikTok. I don't know. I didn't know she actually had a TikTok. I think someone else was posting her. Thank you, Sarah. That's a good movie. That's a pretty good movie. Really? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Wasn't someone was talking about? I think it was. Hmm, someone was talking about Tyler getting out and doing better in life, and he could have some opportunities. It might have been Shayna. I think it was Shayna. She was talking about how Tyler actually had some opportunities and stuff if he'd get the hell out of there. Yeah, Soup Bob's way downhill. I don't know. And what's her name? Mousie's in really bad shape too. I hear. Oh yeah, Rainbow. It'll do that sometimes. It'll. I've got a Roku, and for some reason it'll like buffer, and then it'll be like 5 minutes behind. So I don't know. YouTube's really. I mean, YouTube and Twitch, they're both really bad as far as like bouncing from one platform to another. Like Twitch is awful on your cell phone. If you put it on your cell phone, it'll be like 3 or 4 minutes behind at the very least. Um, YouTube's good on the computer, on the phone. But when you start putting it on like Fire Sticks, or if you've got like a Blu-ray player or something that has the app on it, it'll start getting way behind. I don't know what's up with that. Is that what she said? I remember she said something of that nature. That's I don't know. Last time before that video, the last time I remember seeing her in a video was where she was at the when she Bronco, you're a mess. That but she was at that gas station and the guy ran into her and she was like, "I'm homeless now." I was like, Lord. The sad thing to me is Brandon got out of prison, went to the place he owns. It's in his name, regardless of what they say about paying taxes or whatever the fuck else. It's in his name. In the eyes of the law, that's his fucking house. That's his trailer. I don't know whose land it sits on. I've never really looked into all that. Uh, but that's his fucking place, and you get into a fight and leave your place and then end up in jail anyway. I don't know. That shit was terrible. That I don't get that. Oh, okay, Moses. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff floating around out there. They're so famous that they're in the tabloids and everything. We've got to really start deciphering what we get because you never know what's true and what's not true. It's like I forget when it was. I called over there and they said Chig wasn't at home. He was in the hospital or something, and I called over there and he was sitting there. So yeah, some states you can't, but usually even in that case, you have to go to like a tax sale where it's gotten to the point that they're selling it for the unpaid taxes. I don't believe that ever happened with their land or their trailer. I think Brandon Poe and Ashley Poe's father from my understanding, had that trailer. And I don't know who owns the land or whatever. That Bo and them could own the land. I don't know, but some kind of way, Durkee and them started living in it and paying the taxes. And some kind of way they think that the only way that Brandon and them could get possession back is if they repaid them, which is a totally separate civil matter. If they want to sue them in the people's court or something, or at the Supreme Court, as Durkee thinks it happens, they might could say, hey, we paid this, and maybe a judge would say, hey, you need to give them some money back. But they don't own that land just because they paid the taxes on it, unless they bought it in a tax sale, which the Boone County Tax Assessor's Office says no. The Boone County Tax Assessors has the owner of record is Brandon and Ashley Poe, and they're sending the tax bill to Bo. So she's been paying it and collecting mail on their behalf, but um, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, probably so. I don't know. West Virginia's got some interesting laws, though. I have I have looked at some of their stuff. I was blown away that they charge taxes on your dog. Uh, that kind of blew me away. Yeah, they'd never. I mean, that's the sad thing about somebody like that. You really don't have any. They don't have any assets for you to come after or anything if you sue them. So those are the most immune people from lawsuit most of the time. The people that get sued is the people who have good insurance or people that have something, and people like them are usually the ones doing the suing. Yeah, Moses. Well, it's prison, and he'll have to pay him back, and he gets to say how long the sentence will be, and you know how that goes. Hmm. Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming in here and seeing. Did anybody want to talk or anybody want to come on? I haven't done that before, but we can go along and see how it works out. Oh, thanks for telling us, Pimp Pigeon. I hope nobody got in trouble for it. Yes, Sarah Smith. Yes, I haven't been to Bim, but I've been just north of there, to like the Van area and stuff like that. Um, I mean, it's one of those places that you can tell people are down on their luck for sure. There's a lot of stuff going on. I like a lot of West Virginia though. A lot of West Virginia that I saw was really pretty and quiet, and people seem nice. There's a I judge a lot of places by how much trash is on the side of the road, and I can tell you there's a lot of trash on the side of the road down toward Benham and Van in that area. And I hate that people treat their communities like that. It's really unfortunate. What's going on, Triple Nickel? Thanks for coming in. We appreciate that. Thank y'all for stopping by. Red Solo Cup, you want to preach a sermon? Oh, that'll be cool. Pigeon Ralph, that'll be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Anywhere you go, you know, I don't know. I get real frustrated. Like the first time I went to LA, man, I was blown away by how much trash and shit was in the street. Now, this last time I went, it didn't seem as bad in places, but there was definitely a lot more homeless people and definitely a lot more of their stuff that they're carrying around with them, along the streets and stuff. So I don't know. It's I don't know how you solve some of those problems. I don't know how you make people care. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you make people care. And it's not make no mistake about it. It's not about some people somewhere else caring more or dipping in their pocket deeper. Until you change people's mentality to want to care about their own communities, nothing will ever get better for them, no matter how much money you throw at it, no matter how many people go help. Until people care about their own community and their own backyard, you will never convince them to do any better. So I don't believe in writing a check. I don't believe in the government taxing somebody else more and sending it there. I don't know how you solve the problem, but those aren't the answers. I promise you that. I think Southern West Virginia, from my experience, Southern West Virginia is, basically a lot of the areas where coal has has done its work. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not against coal. I just hate the way that things have fallen apart because of the absence of the need of as much coal as we used to need. So down in southern West Virginia, you have a lot of that now. Like northeastern West Virginia and a lot of those places, there's some really beautiful places there. Um, I really enjoyed a lot of that, but I can see how it would seem really hopeless in a lot of places in West Virginia, as it is in a lot of places in other states too. But West Virginia, I think, is unique because so much of it is so secluded from other places. Take care, Elsewhere. Thanks for coming in, and Jamie, thanks for coming in. I hope you feel better. I hope things continue to go on the upswing for you. If I missed anybody, thank y'all for coming in. Yeah, there's just so much going on in the world. That's the thing. Like I can be really political, and I have to watch how deep I go down in that road because it's very sad. The state of affairs is just really sad. So this is kind of my laughter and my entertainment, and just kind of the non-serious version of me. So yeah, corporate reinvestment, but it's really hard to force that. And the companies that have the most to reinvest, they they seem to lobby to get out of it a lot of times. But I think a good company that serves its community well would do that without having to be forced. It's just, where are those companies? And we as consumers, I think, are a lot at fault because a lot of times we buy at the cheap place, or we buy at the place that delivers, or we buy at the place that we can pull up on our phone. Whereas if we went to that local company, we'd still have more local businesses and things like that. So, and it takes effort, man. It takes effort. It takes effort to buy stuff made in the USA. It costs more a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times. And it takes effort to go out of your way to do that. And you have to be really, really principled. And most people aren't. Most people want convenience, and most people want cheap. So that's the thing. I found that to be my issue sometimes. Like if I don't use the self checkout machines, and there's been times when I've basically said, hey, put it back. I don't want it. If you can't ring me up, then I'll just go somewhere else. But you know, most people aren't like that. Most people just go along. How am I living? I'm living okay. I'm doing all right. What's going on, Cole? Anna's Andy six. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong. Yeah, I mean I'm living okay. I try to do the best I can, you know. Yeah, I hate self checkout, Alan's cars and stuff. If you guys like cars and like older cars and stuff, he's got a pretty good channel. I'll share a link after this. I'll put a link in my community tab. He's got a pretty good channel. He does different car shows and stuff. Good stuff. We gave Durkee's house a call earlier, but Chig answered. I don't want to trouble old Chig too much. Hell, he's having a hard enough time being retired with the damn house full of ingrates, as a lot of older people call them. I appreciate that, Johnny D. Yeah, I don't know what kind of life Chig lived. I mean, I don't know what kind of person he was. There's been a few times he said some kind of pissy things on the phone, but I can't blame him. I don't think he asked for this. He does his best to like steer away from it, even when he's just walking through the kitchen. So I don't give him too hard of a time. He doesn't insert himself in it unless he's cornered. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes at all. It's unfortunate that the leech that Durkee is and the scammer and all that. He put them right in the middle of this. So I try to take it easy on them. Even Bo, even Bo, she inserts herself in it, but at a certain point in the conversation with Bo, I'll usually just kind of let her talk. Oh yeah, he'll talk your ear off, and then he'll hang up on you. When I first started calling him as the character that Leroy started as, uh, he used to do this thing, and I don't know if anybody else has experienced it, but he'd go bub 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 on the phone. I don't know what that meant, but yeah, it was like he was implying um, that maybe the lips were bigger or something like that. I don't know. I could never really, but he only did it when I called as that one character. So I was like, yeah, yeah. And he used to always call him Darkness too. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Durkee, so he thinks he's got it all figured out. That's the funny thing about him, and he trips over it a lot of the time. Roy D. Mercer. Yeah, Roy D. Mercer had a lot of albums. She was Moses. I hope to hear some of that audio. I hope you're going to release that soon. You signed me up for a check when I was 5 years old and been getting it ever since. I like when they asked Mamie that, and she says I'm crazy, and he says why? And she says I want to be, and he said well why you say? He says the governor says I'm crazy, and God, what else? She said something else. It had me cracking up because she was swishing that bottle. It was funny. The cooks are done. Yeah. My wife Sharon Jean will be up there, pour a 55 gallon drum of whoop ass all over you. One of my favorite ones he had was one called Bad Apples. Did y'all ever hear that one? Where he calls it's like a little local grocery store and pharmacy, and the guy's like he's like the pharmacist and the owner. It's a small town, and he calls him and he's like, I got some bad apples up there, I guess. And he's farting and stuff. And he's like, I need some kind of butt putty to get this plugged up. The guy says, well, based on my experience, I would guess. And he kind of pauses and he says, yes, yes, hell yes, I got gas. I love that one. Yeah. Yeah, she was bragging as hell. I think she made $20 off that whole thing. And yeah, 20 or $30. She only made a little bit of money off that whole thing. I want to say it was like 8 and 10 or something, but it may have been 3 and 8. But yeah, she only made a little bit. I'm thinking, damn, you're risking a fucking felony to go make $20, $30, you know? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. But yeah, I love Roy D. Mercer. He had some good ones. When I listen to him, I can listen to like maybe 4 or 5, and then I have to switch. I don't know what it is about him, but I can't listen to his whole album all the way through usually. I think I think it's because so many of his are similar. I just kind of zone out or something. But I have a playlist on my iPod. I still have an iPod. This is an iPod Touch, which I hate these. I like the iPod Classics, but I still have this because I have like I don't know, like 16,000 tracks on it. But I still listen to his stuff, and I have a playlist that has a lot of different ones in it. Um, that's just prank calls, and I have let's see, I have Lucius Tate, Jim Florentine, Tom Mabe, Touchstone Terrorists, more Jim Florentine, Touchstone. Let's see, I've got some other people. Roy D. Mercer. I've got probably 4 or 5 Roy D. Mercer albums on here. Jerky Boys, they were good. If y'all ever watched them or listened to them, but they were good. But yeah, I still listen to a lot of his shit up there. Yeah, Bad Apples. He says, I come in here, I baked a couple of them watching me the Braves game. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw this movie. He made a brief appearance in this movie called Daddy and Them. It was one of Andy Griffith's last movies, and I think it was one of Jim Varney's last movies too. But it was called Daddy and Them. It had Billy Bob Thornton and Laura Dern in it. He had just a brief little scene in there, and I heard his voice, and I said, "That's got to be him." And I looked it up, and sure enough, it was him. But that movie there is fucking crazy. Has anybody ever seen that, Daddy and Them? Yeah, your dad. My uncle got me into it. He had like volume 2 or something on CD, and we listened to that thing around my grandmother's kitchen table one night. And after that was one of the first times I ever heard like an album of prank calls. Prior to that, I just thought it was something somebody did. You know what I mean, for fun or whatever on their spare time. It was 8 and 10. I thought it was something like that because I remember thinking, who's going to risk a felony for $20? You know, that's hustle, rustle, and bustling right there. Yeah, yeah, he's got some good ones. How big a boy are you? Yeah, he's got that one that's like a greatest hits called "How Big a Boy Are You." I think I've still got that CD. Arnold Pizza. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to. I keep little notes of stuff that y'all tell me during these things. So uh, let me add that one. Arnold Pizza. I'll have to check that out. I've got uh, I've got a few different ones that few different ones that I haven't gotten to yet. Moses Heaps recommended some good stuff too. Yeah, those floods I hear have been bad, and I'm sorry if anybody's been affected by those. I know we got a lot of folks in Kentucky in this circle, so if you or anybody you know has been impacted by them, I hope you're okay, and I wish you all the best. You know, it's It's one of those unfortunate things. It just seems like there's always something going on. Pop a knot on your head. Yeah. Yeah, I remember him saying that a few times. There's another good one he had where he called this guy's mother about a stolen tape deck. I think it's called Hot Tape Deck or something. And that one's pretty cool. You kind of like the mom because she's just really protective of her son, and she ends up being pretty sweet. But God, it was pretty funny the way he described everything. He's like, "Yeah, that's why he got that stolen cassette deck," and he says it like that, cassette deck. Yeah, y'all hang in there. I really hate that. I really hate that. I know they've tried to work on a lot of that stuff with the flooding, but when you've got that many mountains and that much runoff and a heavy rain, I don't know what the solution is. I still got to get up to Eastern Kentucky. I Most of the time I spent in Kentucky was like in Central Kentucky when I went through there. But what I saw was pretty cool. I still got to go back up to Mammoth Caves because I didn't get to go in those. That's when COVID came out and they wouldn't let us go down in the cave. We just looked around the gift. Kind of pissed me off, but we did get to do the Corvette Museum and the Louisville Slugger place before all that. I said Louisville. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. We're about to get a speech. I guarantee you. You say Louisville or Louisville, and you'll get a speech out of these folks from Kentucky. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Louisville. Bowling Green, yeah. That's where the Corvette place is, too. It's Louisville. I know, but I always read it and I say Louisville. And boy, or you say Louisville, yeah, you get your hand slapped for that. We have a lot of places like that here in Georgia, though. Not as big of towns, really. Well, we say Atlanta different than most people. I mean, a lot of people say Atlanta, but we say Atlanta. So a lot of people, if they pronounce it correctly, really, they say Atlanta or Atlanta, but we say Atlanta. So it's like the second T doesn't matter. But we have a lot of small places around here. Like there's actually a whole YouTube channel for states, different states, and how they say different town names. We have one called Smyrna, but people from other places call it Smyrna. And we have another one called out in eastern Georgia near Augusta. There's a place called Martinez, but it's actually spelled like Martinez. And that would be the way I would say it because it was named by Spanish explorers, from my understanding. So it really should be Martinez, but they still call it Martinez. And we have a place called Houston. And if you call it Houston, you'll get an immediate reaction that you call it Houston. And yeah, so there's always some shit like that in every state. Every state has some place that what the way that you say it's going to be wrong. Yeah, I say. Let me think. It's funny because I'll say if I say if I say pecan pie, I'll say pecan. But if I say butter butter pecan, I say pecan. So I do it both. I say both depending on what I'm saying it in. Oh, I didn't know that, Moses. I had no idea about that one. We call it Coke here, Sarah. It doesn't matter if it's Dr. Pepper or whatever, it's Coke. You want a Coke? You ever hear older folks? You hear it a lot, like in Eastern Tennessee, North Georgia, Western North Carolina. They'll call them dopes. You ever heard somebody say they want a dope? They're talking about a soda, sody pop. Yeah, yeah. And now with everything going on in Appalachia, like, and someone says, "Hey, you want a dope?" I was thinking, well, damn, these people, they went from moonshine to meth like that. But yeah, it's some people call them dopes up there. But here in Georgia, we call pretty much, well, I don't know. Coke is the default, and Pepsi ain't okay. When people say, "Oh, I want a Coke," and "Oh, is Pepsi okay?" They're not completely interchangeable. They're close, but they're not completely interchangeable. Satchel, yeah. People in Texas say satchel a lot for bag. At least parts of Texas I've been to, I've heard people say satchel a lot. Yeah, a tote and a poke. I've heard that too. It's funny how different words come about. Yeah. What kind of Coke? Sprite. That's right. There's a lot of people say, "I want a Coke," but oh, what are you looking at? Dr. Pepper. You know. Yeah. I like stuff like that though. I like hearing how different people talk and stuff. Yeah, I never really knew like yuns until recently. I heard about yuns. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that fentanyl stuff has been really bad for folks. Coca Cola. My dad says Coca-Cola. And I'm like, you swapped, you switched them. Almost, well, almost. Let's see, Coca Cola. I guess not, but he says Coca Cola, like it's one word. But yeah, I like hearing different people talk. I try to pick up on that with different people. Hmm. Yeah, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, Mama Rocks, you only really hear that like you only hear that like in Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and maybe a little bit of North Georgia. You don't hear it very, very far. It's not a far-reaching term that I've ever noticed. Beckerwood. I don't know exactly what that's used to describe. I'm assuming it's someone who's like a general idiot or something. I could see that. I could see that, Mandy. Yonder. Yonder. Let's see, Yonder, and there's another one. Yonder and something else. They still use that term in Great Britain. That actually goes back to like Old English. Yonder and reckon. Those words go back to England, and I didn't know that. I thought that was like slang here, but it's actually proper English. Yeah, Mandy, we down here we'll say who let the floodgates open. Who let the floodgates open? That's a common term. Like if you can't get a turn like a left turn signal or something, if you can't get a intersection change lights, we'll say who let the floodgate open. Yeah, I could see that. It probably has less influence from other places. At least at least up until probably the last 40 or 50 years. The last 40 or 50 years, I mean, there's been a lot of people that moved to the South from other places. Oh, Lord. Yeah. My dad used to say hell and back a lot. If something got bent up or something, he'd say it's bent to hell and back. Or if something got burned, he'd say it's burned to hell and back. And I remember one time my mom used to have those rollers that you'd put in your hair, and you'd roll them up, and they were white, and they had little pointy things all around them to grasp the hair, and then they'd have a pin that'd go over them, and it had two little rubber pieces on the end, and it was shaped like a hairpin kind of, you know. It was it was like this, and then it kind of came like that. Well, like down here and here, there'd be these little rubber grip things, and I assume they were just so you wouldn't get poked with uh, with the metal piece. And those things just started sizzling. They fell on the heater and they just started sizzling. And my mom said, "Do you think you can grab it?" And I said, "No, I think it's burnt to hell and back." And that's the first time I remember cussing when I was a kid. It was hell, but I just said it because that's what I've heard. Yeah, my mom preferred those rollers. I don't know what it was about those, but I remember one time we were going to buy her a curling iron, and she said no, she preferred those. So I don't know. Burnt the shit out of it. Yeah, but we had one of those. When I say heater, we had one of those floor furnaces in the that had the grate over it, and it was a big metal, like uh hell, I don't know, it's like a big metal chamber down in there that it would heat up. And boy, if you walked across that motherfucker with your bare feet, and you didn't know the heat had recently been on, ooh, it would wear your ass out because it was about probably 5 feet by 3 feet. Those damn floor furnaces, but it kept the house warm, and it worked when the power was out too. Yeah, that's funny. Far and tar, you hear that a lot. You hear that a lot in like Kentucky and places too. I've heard people say that tars. Yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all stopping in here. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second. But you pissed in a floor furnace, man. How'd you manage that? Oh, you was as a kid. I didn't see that part. Yeah, that'll. I don't know if it was running or not, but I'm damn sure it steamed up if you did it when it was running. That shit might have boiled off of there, 'cause, I know ours used to get hot as hell. I dropped a stuffed animal on it, and the grates burned burned lines like I got in my head right into its forehead. Yeah, I had fun with y'all too. I appreciate everybody coming in here and everything, and I appreciate you telling me about the technical difficulties and sticking around for my shenanigans on the phone. We will. I'm going to try to do this more often. I looked at the thing and I thought, well, damn, it's saying it's been like a month since I did this, and it doesn't feel like it's been that long. I think it's because I've been on other people's streams. So I'm gonna try to do this more often. I enjoy doing it with y'all, and I like that you guys come in and interact with me. And I'm gonna get the video thing where it'll play more because I'd like to do, where we maybe watch a video and react and that kind of thing when we want to. Not all the time, but some, kind of put it in the mix of things. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in and thank you. And I'm glad the prank calls went okay. We didn't have anybody say anything that's going to get me run off YouTube. Definitely. Thank y'all again. And yes, Sarah Smith, thank you for sharing that. If y'all would uh, like and subscribe if you're not already, but I think most of you are subscribers. But I appreciate everything. And um, I have Twitch too. If any of y'all are on Twitch, y'all are welcome to subscribe on there. I may do some things on there. I play games on there more, but I may do some like just chatting streams if I get enough people in there. Thank y'all. I had a great time too. Y'all stop by anytime and feel free to message me or comment or whatever if you ever want to reach out. Hey, Larry's boxing coach, thanks for stopping in. Thank y'all. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna let y'all go now. I appreciate it. Thanks again. Y'all have a good night and a good week. Keep your powder dry. Y'all are a mess. I've enjoyed it. Y'all take care.